At the beginning of this story, we see a sniper named Bob who is currently in Africa and is on a mission with his partner Donnie. After a short period of surveillance, Bob spotted a terrorist vehicle and without any delay he killed that terrorist. Now, before they could leave from there, a group of terrorists started raining bullets on them. Here, Bob showed his skills and killed many of those terrorists, but within moments the situation began to slip out of control and an enemy helicopter started dropping bombs around them. At this point, Bob asked the CIA for help, but he did not receive any response from their side. Meanwhile, during this gunfight, a bullet hit Donnie and the poor guy lost his life. Seeing this, Bob became furious and fired several shots at that helicopter. At first, his aim missed, but after a few attempts he managed to shoot down the helicopter. Now, 3 years after this incident, we see Bob, who has now retired from the army and is living a normal life in the forest with his dog. One day, a man named Isaac Johnson, who is the head of the CIA, came to meet Bob. Actually, Isaac had received information that very soon there was going to be an attack on the President of the United States, which is why he came to meet Bob so that with the help of an expert this attack could be prevented. In fact, Bob's job was to create different plans to assassinate the president so that Isaac and his team could be prepared in advance for every possible challenge. At first, Bob refused to do this work because he was now retired and did not want to return to that old life. But when Isaac explained the seriousness of the situation to him, Bob agreed to take on this task. Before leaving, Isaac gave Bob all the information and asked him to come to Washington the following week. After a week, Bob reached Washington, D.C., where the president was going to give a speech. After several days of research, Bob told Isaac that the attack on the president would take place in Philadelphia. Isaac thanked him and also asked him to come on the day of the president's speech. As days passed like this, very soon that day arrived when the president was going to give a speech in front of the whole country. On the other side, Bob arrived in a room with Isaac from where they could see the entire city. Here, Bob met a man named Michael Soar, who was a part of Isaac's team and had a very major role in the president's security. As soon as the president stepped onto the stage to give his speech, Bob told everyone that this was the best opportunity to attack the president, so they should get him off the stage as soon as possible. But before he could finish his sentence, a policeman present in the room shot at Bob, and at the same time an unknown sniper shot the president. Seeing this, Bob broke the window and escaped from there, and as soon as Bob left, Isaac's team cleared the entire room and left Bob's sniper rifle along with his fingerprints on a table. On the other side, an FBI officer named Nick tried to stop Bob, but Bob easily overpowered him and handcuffed him and was about to leave, but before leaving he told Nick that he did not kill the president and that he was being framed. After that, he got into Nick's car and started escaping from the city, but before he could escape, an FBI team started chasing him. To escape from the police, Bob drove his car into a car wash and quickly treated his wounds. But after some time when he came out onto the road, a police team surrounded him from all sides. Since Bob had no other option, he put the car into reverse gear and went straight into a river. After this, the FBI team thoroughly searched the river, but they could not find any trace of Bob because he had already escaped by hanging onto a boat. After some time, he reached the shore and stole a truck to escape from there. On the other hand, all the news channels in the country started showing Bob's photo on TV and began calling him the killer of the president. After this, we see the FBI headquarters, which was very angry with Nick because Bob had escaped by deceiving him. Here, Nick told his senior that while escaping Bob had told him that he did not kill the president. However, Nick's senior did not believe his words, and due to his previous mistakes, he demoted Nick and made him sit in the FBI call center. As night fell, Bob went to a supermarket and before going inside he cut off the electricity of the shop. After that, he went inside the shop and bought some items from a lady present there. Then he went to the shop's restroom and treated his wounds, but in the meantime, the lady in the shop became suspicious of him and immediately called the FBI. Here, Nick answered her call, where the lady told him that Bob had probably come to her shop a short while ago. Trusting her words, Nick informed his senior about it, but due to his past mistakes, his senior did not pay much attention to it. Nick worked on this case the entire night and gathered all the information about Bob. The next morning, a lady came to the office who was actually Nick's colleague. When she saw Nick working on this case, she told him that the policeman who had shot Bob was murdered last night. After hearing this, Nick became convinced that Bob was completely innocent and that someone had tried to frame him. On the other side, we see Bob going to meet a woman at her house. In fact, this woman was none other than Donnie's widow wife Sarah. Although today she was meeting Bob for the first time, she had known him for many years because after Donnie's death, Bob had written her a letter and every year he used to send flowers to Sarah. Sarah had also seen Bob on TV, so she refused to help him at first, but when Bob told her that he was innocent, she allowed him to come inside. After coming inside, Sarah told him that the president was completely fine and that day the bullet had actually hit a politician from another country. On the other side, we see Nick investigating all the buildings around the crime scene. During this, he reached a building where he found marks of a sniper tripod, and this building was only 500 meters away from the crime scene. Seeing this, Nick found it a bit strange because he had read in Bob's file that Bob was a very skilled sniper and he could take down his target from miles away. So how did he miss his shot from just 500 meters and how did he end up shooting another politician instead of the president? On the other side, we see Sarah, who is a nurse by profession and is currently treating Bob. After some time, when Bob regained consciousness, Sarah told him that the government had even killed his dog. Hearing this, Bob felt very sad and swore that he would clear the stain on his name, and in this work only Nick could help him. Here, Bob made a plan, and according to this plan, Sarah went to meet Nick at a cafe. There, Sarah told him everything and also gave him Isaac's car number so that Nick could investigate it and also create fear in Isaac's mind. Nick did exactly that and started tracking the car number. On the other side, Isaac also came to know that an FBI officer was tracking his car, and that this was the same officer in whose car Bob had escaped. Before Nick could reach the root of this matter, Isaac's men kidnapped him and brutally beat him. Actually, they wanted to know how much truth Nick knew, but even after a lot of effort when Nick did not tell them anything, they decided to kill him. But before they could kill him, Bob, with the help of his sniper skills, killed all of Isaac's men. Here, Nick told Bob that he knew he was innocent, so he should surrender himself to the police so that the law could help him. However, Bob clearly refused because if he did not take revenge on Isaac, then tomorrow he could do the same thing to someone else. Now Nick also agreed with him and got ready to support him. On the other side, Isaac and his companions came to know that Bob sends flowers every year to a girl named Sarah. And as soon as they found out about this, Isaac sent his men to kidnap Sarah. On the other side, Bob and Nick went to meet a weapons expert, where Bob asked this man if it was possible for a bullet to be fired from one gun but appear to have been fired from another gun. To this, the man said that yes, it is possible, and this technique is called the paper patching technique, in which the bullet is fired from one place but appears to have come from somewhere else. Here, the man also told Bob that apart from him, only one person could make such a precise shot, and that is Mika. Now when the man described Mika's appearance, Bob immediately understood that Mika was none other than Michael Soar, who was in Isaac's team. After this, Nick called his office and got the address of Michael Sander, who was currently in Virginia. That same night, two of Isaac's men entered Sarah's house to kidnap her. Here, Sarah managed to kill one man, but unfortunately, the other man captured her. On the other side, Isaac had already guessed that by now Bob must have found out everything about Michael Sander and would definitely go after him. So Isaac made a plan that when Bob and Nick come to Virginia to catch Michael Sander, they would attack and kill them. According to the plan, Bob and Nick reached Virginia and went to a supermarket and bought all the materials needed to make bombs. Bob already knew that Isaac and Michael would definitely counterattack, so he also taught Nick some basic sniping so that he could help him when the time came. The next day, Bob went to Michael's farmhouse, and Nick stayed at a distance and kept informing him about the positions of all the guards. Bob eliminated all the guards one by one, and before entering the farmhouse, he placed many bombs in the nearby bushes. After that, he went inside the farmhouse, where Michael was already waiting for him. Here, Michael told him that their real plan was not to kill the president, but to kill that other country's leader, because that day he was going to tell people about that village which Isaac and his team had destroyed on behalf of an oil company. Actually, 3 years ago, a big oil company wanted to lay its pipeline in a small village in Africa, and for this they needed the entire village to be evacuated. But when the villagers refused to leave, Isaac and his team killed all the villagers and buried them in a mass grave. Now here Bob understood everything. That 3 years ago, when he was in that village in Africa, why the US Army had left him and Donnie to die. And now Bob realized that not only Isaac, but also powerful politicians of the country were involved in this whole scam. After revealing all this, Michael shot himself, and at that very moment, Isaac's men attacked Bob. From a distance, Nick activated all the bombs placed outside, and from inside, Bob started killing Isaac's men one by one. After killing all of them, Bob came out of the farmhouse, but at that moment, a helicopter started chasing him. Since Bob and Nick were already prepared for this attack, they fought back strongly against Isaac's men. As soon as the helicopter came above an oil tanker, Bob shot the tanker and caused a blast, and in that explosion, the helicopter was also burned to ashes. After this, we see Isaac and his companions, whose tension was increasing because Bob was slowly getting closer to them. On the other side, Nick called the FBI and told them that he had caught Bob. Actually, Nick did this so that the information would reach Isaac and he would contact him. Their plan worked, and within a few minutes, Isaac called Nick. Here, Bob spoke to Isaac and offered him a deal, that if he released Sarah, then he would delete the recording of Michael Soar in which he had revealed how Isaac and his team destroyed an entire village in Africa on behalf of an oil company. Isaac had no other option, so he agreed to the deal, and they decided to meet the next day on a snowy mountain. The next day, Isaac arrived at the mountain with his companions and Sarah. Just then, a man was seen walking toward them, but Isaac's hidden sniper shot that man. Here, Isaac thought that they had killed Bob, but this was actually Bob's trick, and that man was none other than Nick, who had worn a bulletproof medal inside his jacket. When Isaac's sniper fired at Nick, Bob got the sniper's location and immediately killed him with a headshot. Along with that, he also shot the man who was holding Sarah. On the other side, we see the FBI chief who received a letter sent by Nick, in which Nick had given all the information about this mission. As soon as the FBI team read that letter, they also headed toward the mountain to arrest Isaac and Bob. After killing the sniper, Bob came in front of everyone, and here Nick took away the weapons from Isaac and his men. But at that moment, Sarah picked up a gun and killed the man who had kidnapped her, because he had tortured her a lot. Here, Bob calmed her down and started talking to Isaac and also to Meckham. Here, Meckham told Bob that he could not harm them using that recording because powerful officials of the government were also involved in this scam. By now, Bob had also understood that if he made this evidence public, then the people in power would kill not only him but also Nick and Sarah. That is why he burned the recording in front of them. At that moment, the FBI team arrived there, and along with Bob, Isaac and his companions were also arrested. After a few days, Bob was presented in court, and in that court, Isaac and his companions were also present. Here, Bob asked for his rifle that was found at the crime scene so that he could prove his innocence. He told the judge that before leaving the house that day, he had removed the firing pin from his gun, and without a firing pin, it is impossible to fire a bullet from that gun. To prove this, he even fired the gun at Nick, but since the firing pin was missing, the bullet remained inside the gun. This proved that Bob was completely innocent. The court declared Bob innocent, but they did not take any action against Isaac because the last piece of evidence against him had also been burned by Bob. That night, Isaac and Meckham went to their farmhouse and started celebrating their victory, but just then Bob arrived there and began killing Isaac's men one by one. As soon as Isaac stood up, Bob shot him in the chest and killed him. After that, he went inside the house and also killed Meckham. While leaving the house, he caused an explosion in the gas pipeline so that no evidence would remain against him. In the end, Bob completed his revenge and brought justice to all the people who were killed in that village. On the other side, we see Sarah waiting for him outside the farmhouse. After that, the two of them left from there and started a new life together.